This is the story of Diablo 4, Act 2, Episode 1, Donan's Nightmare. After learning Lilith obtained the key to hell off her slain son Rathmir's corpse, killed by none other than his own father, the angel Anarius, we decided best to seek out a more neutral ally in the war for Sanctuary's soul, and thus cast our mind back to what Lorith Nar said of his former Herodric ally of the past, Donan.
There is another Herodrim, Donan. His breadth of knowledge about demons is equal only to his hubris.
Sounds like he could help us.
You should seek him out in Skosglen.
Journeying northwest out of Giovershad, we find the icy path of destruction has not spared the peoples of first the town of Menestad, then through the rocky goatmen-infested Silvered Edgelands. By nightfall, we arrive to the region of the Lagland Fen, soaked through by rain, and it's via the snaking road do we find the Eldheim Keep nestled atop the mountain. Although we are somewhat surprised to be greeted by the Church of Light's armored knights, who we believed we left behind in the holy city to the south. Friendly to a wandering necromancer, the guard directs.
Light's blessing. If you have needs, check in with the Watch Commander.
Stepping inside the city, a child crosses our path, urging,
Come on, we're going to miss it!
Curious, we follow to see an old-timer recounting a local tale.
The ash fell like rain, and Astaroth's mad laughter boomed like thunder. Folk tried to hide, but the demon sniffed them out. He herded them into a cage of fire, and as he prepared to eat them one by one, whoosh! A fierce wind blew out the flames. There, in the smoke, stood the three heroes. Even Astaroth trembled at the sight. First came Erida, calling down a storm upon the demon's head with music from her talharpa. Then came Nefane, growling like a beast, slashing at Astaroth with fang and claw. And last came Donan. He plunged his hand into the demon's fiery chest and crushed the fiend's heart in his palm.
Whoa.
Astaroth let loose a cry that shook the forest to its roots, and then the monster crumbled into dust. So ended the days of ash.
It seems Donan and his companions felled quite a formidable demon in this Astaroth, crushing a demon's heart in his hands. He must be a formidable warrior of great stature and strength. Deciding we have come to the right place, seeing a local Ebron leaning against a wall and ask, "What is this place?"
Can you feel it? Eldheim is hallowed ground, my friend. Blessed with Anarius' holy light. Just being here is a way of lifting my spirits.
More sycophants dancing to Anarius' tune? Less than desirable. Tell me about Donan.
You'll never meet a man with a bigger heart. Came to see about getting my son some work, and he hired the lad as a clerk. Right on the spot. Don't know how I'll ever repay him, but I'll find a way.
Rather magnanimous of him, but we've been fooled before. In the keep's center, a nearby knight looking soaked to the bone beckons us over and warns.
Beware the gossip around here, traveler. The Glen folk will find any reason to slander the cathedral, despite all we've done to heal this broken land.
To the west exit of the keep, we just so happened to bump into one of the disenfranchised Glenfolk named Merdus, who indignantly prods.
Oh no, you another one of his bootlickers. Doning this, doning that. People always going on about the man like he's a god among us. Oh, where was he when the knights penitent scoffed at our offerings to the forest? Huh? Well, I'll tell you where. Up in his pretty keep, prancing about like the cock of the walk.
Old gods don't seem to mix with the new, eh? Just below, we find a guard contingent. We then ask the officer, Commander Antjer.
I'm looking for a Horadrim named Donan. An old friend of his sent me.
At this hour, I'd wager he's in the keep. Check with the guard at the door.
Turning to leave, we see in the city centre a prisoner in stocks named Athael, bemoaning her predicament.
Pray for me, Wanderer. I've asked Inarius for the strength to resist temptation, but I can't keep my hands from stealing. It's like they're possessed.
Past the hanging corpses of vampires and miscreants alike, we speak to a man, Kajal, who similarly pleads.
I swear, on my soul, I'll never take Father Inarius' name in vain again. Just get me out of this thing, please.
No wonder the locals feel the oppressive heel of the church's boot to be unwelcome, resting so heavy on their necks. Heading east through the main thoroughfare, we enter the keep telling the guard penitent, I have an urgent message for Donan.
He's upstairs in the Great Hall with his son. Keep it quick.
Entering Eldheim's hall through its large double doors, we see below us a mural of 3 warriors comprising of 2 men and a female. Ahead, near a large statue, is a stone mural plaque that explains, in honor of the great Horadric mage, Donan, and the brave druids Arida and Nafane, who vanquished the demon Astaroth and ended the days of Ash. Wasting no more time, we head up the staircase to our left to see the famous and decidedly stout Donan conversing with his son.
Dad, I need to be out in the field with the other knights.
Why the rush, my boy? You know, I found some of my old Horadric tomes. Stay here, and we can go through them together.
I can take some with me. We have a visitor.
Turning to Donan, curiously, we also spy the mark of the cathedral hanging around his plump neck and interrupt.
This discussion is not over. Is there something you need?
I have a message from Lorath.
Well, there's a name from another life. Has the old man finally come down from the mountain?
With a warning. An ancient evil walks the land. The demon, Lilith.
And you know this how? Did you and Lorath discover something of interest?
Perhaps this is all connected to what you saw, Father.
Yes, I was just getting to that. There was an incident at my estate. Probably best if we discuss it there. Go and have a look around for yourself. I'll meet you shortly, and then we can talk more. As for your request, get to Braestag. And be careful. Stay close to the other knights penitent.
I will. Don't worry.
Donan's young son, Yoren, then dutifully trudges off, presumably heading to Braestag. And we ask, what's your relationship with Lorath?
We haven't spoken much in recent years, but the 2 of us have history. We are brothers of the Horadrim. I'm probably the closest thing to a friend he has nowadays. Forging bonds is not exactly a strength of his, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Seems Lorath quit and fell into a bottle. Donan here, into the cathedral's loving embrace. We then query, can you tell me more about the incident?
It occurred just the other day, in the dead of night. I thought it was a nightmare at first, but unfortunately that is not the case. I have some things to finish up here, and then we will talk more at the estate.
Before we leave, I bring dark tidings from the fractured peaks. We learned my Order's leader, Rathma, was killed by none other than Inarius for the key to hell, which Lilith now possesses.
Rathma is dead. I brought the prophecy to Inarius so he could unravel its true meaning. I never expected he would kill his son because of it. And now the very thing he wanted, this infernal key to hell, is in Lilith's hands. It must relate to her search for Astaroth.
Astaroth? But the tales say you slayed him. Donan, looking worried, doesn't answer, and we leave him with his thoughts to speak more, supposedly at his estate. As we move to exit the hall, only now seeing the demon hanging below the trio, who must be the infamous Astaroth, the town's scourge during the days of Ash. Now, with more questions than answers, we leave the keep via horseback to the west, stopped by a local ex-soldier who begs.
Spare some kindness for an old soldier?
We then say to the beggar, Halworth, here you go.
Ah, thank you, Wanderer.
What's your story?
I was wounded in the days of Ash. I touched the demon's flame, thought I was being brave at the time. I can still feel the fire dancing across my hands, burning the skin away. Everything hurts to touch. Except coin. Hehe.
Funny, many beggars report to suffer with the same affliction. Making our way north through the drenched encampment of the Church of Light's army, we find a small settlement of Firebreak Manor. We see the locals milling about, and up some stairs Donan's steward, Wilfred, who dutifully greets our arrival.
Welcome to Firebreak Manor, traveller.
I'm here about the incident. Donan gave me permission to look around.
Incident?
That was all he said.
I must be referring to his study. Something unsettling transpired there.
Entering the manor, we see it as an establishment devoted to scholarly pursuits and bears the insignia of Inarius' church. Searching for Donan's study, we find an empty bedroom. To the north, a large dining hall with an open fire, turned into a study room of sorts, as most of the house seems to be dedicated to. As such, the academics mostly ignore us, and we head west past a worker sweeping the floor and down into Donan's study below. Inside the study, we see a small library and Lilith's insignia smugly sits atop the church's rug. Touching the blood petals, we're ripped into a vision of Donan's personal nightmare.
And I know you, Donan. Old, tired, each day a struggle to live up to your own legacy.
What do you want with me?
Astaroth.
She's dead.
Astaroth cannot die. Not by your hand. What have you done with him?
Away, demon. I deny you.
You have grown so frail. I can make you the hero you were.
Return to the darkness from whence you came. I said away!
A signal horn.
Coming to, we hear the horns of alarm blaring and realize how close Donan was to succumbing to Lilith's influence. However, she seemed to only abate after seeing the picture of Donan and his allies that felled Astaroth. Perhaps by coincidence, if there is such a thing, we also find an unfinished manuscript inside a stack of papers bearing the title, The Fall of Astaroth. It appears to be an unfinished chronicle of Donan's battle against the demon. Numerous lines have been crossed out and rewritten. Strange, as we just heard the tale, presumably in its entirety, which is the cornerstone of Donan's celebrity in these parts. Wasting no more time, we head up the stairs and find the man who was sweeping, dead in a heap before us. To our left, another slain worker in a pool of blood, and above is a goat man battling one of the guards. More of the Blood Clan set upon us. We then move room by room, eradicating the taint of the killer Khazra, finding all the academics deceased on our way. Outside the manor, we stumble into a grisly scene as the Blood Clan marauders have slaughtered the entire local populace. Some of the guard contingent battle with the swarming threat, but Donan is nowhere in sight. Cutting a bloody swath through their forces, we see their leader in the middle of the field, a massive Blood Clan mauler, temporarily bound by Donan's Herodric magics. Aiding the Herodrum, we decimate the lingering goat demons. And turn to Donan amidst the carnage, who is shocked at the Khazra's audacity.
Goat men. They've never dared come so close to the estate before.
Perhaps they were drawn by Lilith's presence. I saw a vision of her in your study.
What do you mean, a vision?
I don't fully understand how, but it isn't the first time.
Full of surprises, aren't you? No wonder you caught Lorath's attention. Well, now you understand my predicament. The daughter of hatred in my own home. She must be furious I cast her out.
That painting on your wall, who are the others in it?
Why do you ask?
Lilith seemed to leave after seeing them.
Nafane and Arida, the druids who helped me slay Astaroth. Yes, I think you're onto something. I resisted her, so she might question them about the demon next. There are knights stationed in villages near the druids. If Lilith passed through, they must have seen her. I must see to the dead here. If I'd known they were in danger, I would have closed off the estate. Damn Lilith. She brought this on them.
I cannot do that here.
course not. Demons are arrogant creatures. She would never accept that our kind could vanquish Astaroth. What troubles me is why she's looking for him. What does she want? Astaroth was from the realm of hatred, the place Lilith once called home. Perhaps therein lies an answer. I'll have to ponder this more.